love chamber music because there is a sense that you are sharing something intimate, you know, obviously with a set group of people, 4 or 5 people. You know, you've devoted your life to understanding and interpreting music, and you're doing it with 4 people who share the exact same ideals and values and interests. So that obviously can be, as a traveling soloist, the sense of community is very hard to find. So chamber music is obviously a very quick and meaningful way to do that. I love playing chamber music in Seattle at the festival because you have, you know, the best players, really truly the best interpreters from a wide variety of types of playing, orchestra, chamber music, solo, teachers. I mean, really, you have the full spectrum. And I think the social element behind those rehearsals, you know, it all really revolves around one house where everyone has meals together. They have a chef that cooks for you. So really, all you're doing is you're focusing on rehearsing as intensely as you can, and then obviously relaxing with the people that you have traveled across the world to spend that time with. Alessio, I guess, had written to James Ennis, the festival director, asking if any violinists present his week, which is the first week of the festival, either know the Busoni second violin sonata or would be interested in learning it. And I think James sent out an email. He didn't get a response immediately from the other violinists, so I took a listen and totally fell in love with the piece. I mean, it's deeply, deeply romantic, like thick, juicy romantic, incredibly dark at times. The second movement is kind of like this charging. At times it can almost sound like circus music, but actually it's very, very, very terrifying. There's a sense of almost horror to it. Hopefully not in a too scary way, but I mean, really, there's something quite potent in that music. And then in kind of typical Busoni style, he takes a Bach chorale and creates these incredible variations on top of it. So I fell in love with the piece after listening to it, and having rehearsed it with Alessio, I'm even more deeply in love with this. I mean, it really feels cinematic almost, actually. I think I first heard the Brahms B Major Piano Trio on a recording by the Beaux-Arts Trio. I think I had sort of just been introduced to chamber music, and you know, kind of when you're devouring the staples of the repertoire, of course the Brahms trios are part of it. So I think I first got to know the piece when I was probably about 14 or 15, and then I studied it in high school, played it at Curtis for a few coachings. So returning to this piece, you kind of, it's a sort of benchmark piece where you really see how foolish you were in the past, but also how much you've grown. And of course, the quality behind the piece becomes so much more evident. There's, I remember in one of my coachings, somebody told me that Mr. Fleischer thinks of the opening as it should sound like a river of gold, and I just love this image that there's something that just unfolds immediately in the music, which feels just kind of so celestial and kind of perfect and so generous.